Michigan. San Francisco 20, Cincinnati 7. Big third down play. They need 3, 4, perhaps. Pat Summerall with John Madden. Solomon split out wide to the right as you look at the defense of San Francisco. Montana calls him. Ricky Patton in motion. Montana gives on a draw play to Cooper. He won't make it. Ross Browner was the first man to hit him.
We were talking that was a big play, and that was because Cincinnati didn't get in the last time they had it, but now they're going to get the ball right back again. Ross Browner made a big play. He shot inside of Dan Audick to catch Earl Cooper.
Jim Miller has had a good day. Mike Fuller back deep for Cincinnati. People forget that the center has a lot of responsibility in a situation like this, too. It's Randy Cross, who was drafted as a center, now goes to the Pro Bowl as a guard.
The Bengals may have a punt block on here.
Not one of Miller's best, but it does take a good bounce, but right to Fuller. Not much doing as the 49er coverage is there quickly. Mike Thomas, the first man down. 44-yard punt. 60 minutes will be coming up following football, except on the West Coast, where you'll see it at its regular time. Super Bowl 16 is the football you're looking at with one more quarter to go. 13:58 remaining. Bengals have it at their own 44. They've been close a lot of times. They've scored only once. Anderson, the quarterback. Johnson gets across midfield down to the San Francisco 49. Jack Reynolds again the tackler.
Look at this statistic here, Pat. The Bengals have led the National Football League in fourth quarter points. They've scored more points in the fourth quarter than any other team in the league.
San Francisco leading by 13. Second down for Cincinnati. Just across the midfield stripe. Anderson. Back quickly. Dean chasing. Anderson throws. He has Collinsworth inside the 40 to the 38. It'll be a Cincinnati first down. Willie Harper takes him down. We'll look at Collinsworth first, and then we'll show you the pass rush.
Here's where a 6'5" receiver, outside receiver, is really something for a quarterback. He can run those inside patterns against a zone, square his shoulders, show the quarterback his numbers, and Anderson can hit him right between the 8 and the O. I watched Fred Dean against Anthony Munoz. He's right there. Munoz has his hands in front and then pushes him to the outside just enough.
First down, Cincinnati. Ball at the San Francisco 38. Alexander wide right. Along with Curtis. They'll throw again. Dean is almost loose. Throws down the middle. Dan Ross, the tight end. Another first down.
Well, we've watched a lot of films and tapes on Dan Ross, and he catches more balls like that really aren't right to him. Watch, he's the inside guy here. Again, they're working against a zone. Push up, square around, show the quarterback your numbers, and then just slide a little to the outside.
I made a mistake about the first down business. It's about a foot short.
Yeah, that's good enough. That's
okay if it's good enough.
It's a good situation. It's like a free down.
I was going to apologize, but I won't.
Yeah.
Second down. Anderson down the middle. A lot of bumping, and a penalty marker comes down. I saw it coming. It was intended for Curtis, and it's going to be against Ronnie Lott.
Now, this is an interesting one. If the ball is in the air, it's pass interference, and the ball will be spotted at the 15.
Number 42, defense, first down.
Haggerty called it pass interference, or one of his henchmen did.
Right, I was just talking about that, Pat. You see, if the ball is in the air, it's just on the left of your picture here. You see right there. There's Ronnie Lott come in and got a bump before the ball got there.
That'll make it first down Cincinnati at the San Francisco 15. Clock running. Clock stop. Sorry. 11:42. Alexander goes out to the right again. Anderson goes back again. He is chased again. And he throws. Incomplete.
I don't know. That's a close one. He threw that one. There was no receiver in the area. The closest men were two offensive linemen. That really should be a penalty for throwing the ball away. The Bengals get a break here. Watch this pass rush. You know, watch. There'll be no one here in the picture except the offensive lineman. There was Max Montoya, number 65, and he's not eligible.
Don't they have something, the officials, that says if in their opinion he is trying to avoid a loss, that the receivers in the area don't really make any difference? I'm not sure about that thing. Second down. Ryder in motion to the right. Anderson looking and throwing. Ross has it just outside the 5. Carlton Williamson, the defender. Same old Ross.
We were talking about Dan Ross. He gets more balls thrown over his head, behind him, inside, outside. Now watch, he's working against Carlton Williamson there. Gives him a little inside move and look, then a little curl, and the ball was right there. That was a great throw by Anderson. That hit him right between the 8 and the 6.
Ross, as we expected, and as Cincinnati fans expected, I'm sure, has had another great day. 7 catches. Bengals out quickly. They've been to here before. They got nothing. 2 tight ends. This is their short yardage formation. They give this time to Alexander. He's got the first down. It'll be first and goal from just inside the 5. Jack Reynolds on the bottom of the pile.
This is an interesting situation here and what Forrest Gregg is thinking. He's been down there before, as you said, has tried to run, really hasn't been successful. So I would expect on first down here some type of pass. Well, we have to have a measurement first.
The marker is on the 5. The ball is inside the 5.
That's a first down. They don't even have to measure that one. 20 years of coaching, never missed a spot.
I've been broadcasting NFL for 20 years. Between us, we ought to be able to know.
Yeah, we can figure those things out. But, you know, again, with a quarterback as big as Anderson is and as talented as he is and as strong a runner as he is, I would think that they may have some type of option pass down here.
It's an old worn-out cliche that one team won the first half and another team won the second half, but it applies to this contest. 3 wide receivers this time on first down. Change of pace. Ryder in motion to the right. Anderson is going to throw and does. Ross, touchdown.
And Ross says he's going to keep that ball. They tried it the other way. They tried to run. That didn't work. They said, now first down, we're going to pass it in there. I watched Dan Ross. Again, that big target just inside the end zone.
It was Carlton Williamson who tried to strip the ball away. But Ross is indeed that big target. Reach. A very important extra point. Ryder holding. Reach is good.
Watch it again, a good release. He's right into Carlton Williamson. He makes a little basketball twist there and pivot, and boom, the ball's there right again between the 8 and the 9. Oh, is he happy?
What a throw from Anderson.
I'll tell you, pass protection. Watch Anderson. He knows it now. He's going to come over and congratulate someone.
It's 20-14 San Francisco. We'll be back with more of Super Bowl 16 after this word from your local station. Tonight, our
Reggie Bunker's place gets a new truck, and guess who it runs into?
And I'm going to start using you for batting practice.
Reggie Jackson gets
Period, plus 6 seconds left to play. Breach about set to kick off. This one he goes straight with to Dwight Hicks at the 4. Behind the wedge. Hicks still on his feet. Taken down at the 25 by Rick Rosano. And the Bengal fans who were so quiet in half number 1 have really come alive with good reason. San Francisco has had the ball 3 times in the second half. They ran 3 plays and punted. They ran 3 plays and punted. They ran 3 more plays and punted. It's 20-14, 49ers. Cincinnati 31-9 in total play. Montana this time, though, has some room to work with. Outside, it's hit it for Patton. Nothing doing. Reggie Williams there as soon as Patton was.
We talk about the determination of linebackers, and Jack Reynolds, we know what he is. I'll tell you, did you see Reggie Williams there? Look, there is a man that is determined.
What a story. He has a hearing defect. And people thought when he was in grade school, and perhaps even after that he might be retarded. Turned out that they found out he was hard of hearing, and he went to Dartmouth. Markers everywhere. Dan Audick, I believe, was the man who moved. Picked up his hand.
Ball start, 61.
Bill Walsh is saying, what do we have going on here?
49ers totally dominated the first half, although Cincinnati did move the ball. Cincinnati's defense, we saw a minute ago that they score a lot of points in the fourth quarter. They also have allowed a lot. Because if you score a lot, the other team gets the ball a lot. Second down, 15 at the 22. Montana will throw again. Looking and does throw. Pass caught. Mike Wilson kept his feet in bounds. It's a 49er first down.
I'll tell you over there, Brian Hicks was really upset with that. He thought, now, the big thing about this play is that the 49ers haven't had a lot of success in this second half. So now they bring Montana out here to throw the ball as opposed to being there, and then they just get up here and get an out right here on the sideline. But the big thing is run Montana, break containment. Now watch him. We'll see Montana roll out here. Mike Wilson is the outside guy, the deepest one. He runs the sideline right there. I think he may have been out of bounds, Pat.
It was very close. 9:46 left. Montana under pressure. Pass incomplete. Penalty marker finally goes down. Ken Riley. Going to be called against Riley. Intended for Clark.
Of course, Ken Riley is a real veteran of this team. 13 years experience. This is the first time that he's been in a Super Bowl.
13, first down.
Let's watch him. He's covering Dwight Clark there. Clark stouts to the outside. Riley comes to break on him. Looks like to me he got there about the same time the ball did.
See what happened to Montana. Under heavy pressure from Eddie Edwards, he still got it away. And he's still trying to sneak a look and see if it was complete. Clark splits wide to the right, Solomon to the left. First down, San Francisco. At the 49, Solomon in motion. Handoff inside. Ricky Patton. He was almost off to the races. Byron Hicks got him around the leg, or Ricky Patton might have been gone.
Now the Bengals are blitzing on this play. We'll see him. We see the strong safety coming there, Bobby Kemp. So once Patton gets by that first line, he's all the way to the secondary and the weak safety, Brian Hicks.
Good block by Ayers on Cameron. They'll measure to see if it's a first down.
That was also a good call against that defense. They got them all up there in the blitz. You'll see it is a first down, and they just broke that quick trap in their eye.
9:22 remaining. You start thinking about what's going to happen in the rest of this game. The 49ers get a field goal out of this. It changes the entire complexion. It'll make it 23-14, and the Bengals would need 2 scores. First down at the 41. Ricky Patton is hit behind the line of scrimmage and lunges forward for about 3. Ross Browner again hit him.
Ricky Patton's back. He played in the playoff game. He missed the NFC Championship against the Cowboys, and he's fine and fit for this one.
Pickup of 2, make it 2nd and 8 at the 39. They need about, what would you say, another 5 yards to get Wersching in range?
I think they need at least 5 yards. I'd say closer to 10 yards.
They have Solomon lined up tight to the right this time. They'll run Patton again. Close to another first down.
That was a great block by the left guard, John Ayers. He pulled and he led through the hole, and he just wedged through for Ricky Patton to get in behind him.
Again, they'll stop the clock and measure.
Let's look at the block. Watch the left guard there, 68 Ayers. Now watch, he pulls across. He's right in front of Patton there. Now watch him turn up and say, I'll get one for you. Boom, he gets Bobby Kemp there, and that allows Ricky Patton to get through.
Remember what I asked you at the half? When did you think Bill Walsh would start just to run and be concerned with 3 and 4 and watch the clock? Are we in that situation now?
I think so. At that time, I said within the last 10 minutes, and I think that he is in that situation now, although he may pass a little just to keep a drive alive.
Today's sellout attendance at the Silverdome is more than it's supposed to hold. 81,270. Third down, about an inch. Quarterback sneak Montana, he got it. He gets inside the 30 to about the 28, first down with room to spare. Roseno made the stop.
That's the 3rd time that Joe Montana ran that same play. Watch, he'll come off to the right, just a little step with his right foot, and then boom, right up there, in there behind his right guard, Randy Cross.
That was Funhorst, who came across and knocked the pins out from under Roseno. First down, San Francisco. Ball is at about the 28-yard line. Scoreboard says 20. That's not true. Montana gets to Earl Cooper. He almost broke away. He was cut down by Riley. He had some room if Riley didn't trip him up.
He sure did. That was great ball handling by Joe Montana, wasn't it?
It's one of the things he does best that not many people say anything about.
That's right. Cooper was the first man through, but he made a great fake to Patton. Looked like he was going to the right side.
They'll go with 2 tight ends now. Eason Ranson lines up on the left side. Charlie Young, the regular, on the right side. They're chewing up that clock. 6:50 left to play. Ricky Patton. Now they've got it where they can think field goal. I'm sure that's on his mind.
That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to get in that field goal range, make sure he had that, run time off the clock, and maybe somewhere here they'll take a shot at a touchdown. But you know who's doing a great job today is that offensive line of the 49ers. Audick and Ayers, Fred Quill in the center, Randy Cross in the Pro Bowl, Keith Fawnhorst. They're really part of this 49ers story this year.
And a drive like this, that becomes even more apparent. Third down and 6 at the 24. Solomon is the flank to the left. They give to Ricky Patton. And now we will have Ray Wersching with his opportunity. Again, he will not look up. Watch him.
Nope, he won't look up at all. He knows, see, Montana will help him. See, he's saying, help me, help me, help me. There's the spot. He looks at it. He'll pat him on the back. See, Montana's lining up in the huddle where he's going to spot the ball.
How does he ever know that he's on the right floor when he takes an elevator? He never looks up.
He goes with Montana. He goes in elevators with Montana. Now watch, he gives him the tap, backs off, and just uses the hash marks.
He's 2 out of 2. He drives this one, and it's good. Boy, is that a big one. Wersching. When this day's over, he'll look up. 23-14, 49ers over Cincinnati.
I want to show you the car that stood toe-to-toe with the imports and outsold every one. Ford Escort. Now Escort comes with Ford Care coverage. Ford Care means for 2 years, virtually all you pay for is gas. Not 1 red cent for scheduled maintenance or repairs. Hey, that's big. Plus Ford...
Again, putting the ball on the tee. Just popped through that field goal. He's 3 for 3. 40-yard field goal that one was, and with distance to spare. He's been bouncing it so far, and he bounces it again. See if they handle this one. Nope. Finally. Mercer gets it out to the 23-yard line before he is tripped up. They've had an awful lot of trouble with Wersching's kickoff. Those line drive bouncers have handcuffed him all day. Forrest Gregg during Wersching's field goal.
This is before. Watch this. He's yelling, miss it, miss it. After that, he claps his hand and says, okay, now we have to go get 2 scores, man. The game has just changed.
1st and 10, Cincinnati at their own 22. 3 wide receiver setup. The Bengals have owned the second half, except for that drive. Anderson, Collinsworth, the intended receiver, picked off by Eric Wright. Wright down the sideline. Wright still on his feet, and still, and now lateral, throws it. Cincinnati has a chance to get it back. Craig Pookie is saying we got it, and the 49ers do. A 26-yard return. Willie Harper made the recovery.
Here's Chris Collinsworth, and he's working here against Eric Wright. He gets him down. He makes an outside move. Wright gets a great break on it. He's going to step in front of him right there, catch the ball at its highest point. Now watch this return.
If you ever want a textbook or teach a technique on how to play pass defense, you just saw it by Eric Wright.
Some men never ride with the...
Motion, the 49ers give to Patton. Patton bangs down inside the 20 to about the 17. Hit by Rossano again. Jim LeClaire, who would normally be in there, hurt his knee earlier and is sitting it out. It'll be 2nd down. They need about 6. Ball at the 17, 18-yard line. Forrest Gregg hasn't changed expressions much.
With 4 minutes left to go here, another field goal could be big by the 49ers, because right now a touchdown and a field goal could beat them, but if they score here, they'll need 2 touchdowns.
Forrest Gregg just saying knock it loose. Cooper down to the 15. Pickup of 3. Glenn Cameron on the bottom of the pile. Clock still moves.
Forrest Gregg was saying to knock it loose, and I'm sure on the other sideline, Bill Walsh is, as he sends in the plays, he's saying just hold on to the ball. Don't worry. Don't fight for that extra yard. We don't need it now.
Don Chandler has the records for the most field goals in one game. That is 4. Wersching already has 3. That was back in Super Bowl II when Chandler did it. Montana gives to Johnny Davis. And Johnny gets down to the 10. He had a first down. He was knocked backwards. Byron Hicks hit him. It is a San Francisco first down.
The 49ers picked up Johnny Davis from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that's why they picked him up. They wanted him to run the short yardage plays. Now watch him. He's a fullback, right behind the quarterback. A little delay step to the right, then boom, right up the middle, shoulder square, take that pile backwards, get the first down.
He broke through the tackle of Brisano and Cameron. He was finally hit by Hicks. More importantly, The first down, of course, is important as Davis trots to the sideline, but the clock is still running. 2:45 left to play. 49ers leading 23-14. Ricky Patton inside the 10 to about the 7. Lewis Breeden tripped him up.
The Bengals are going to start to use their timeouts now, Pat. They know that they're going to need 2 scores, and they'll need all the time they can get.
Ricky Patton has 16 carries. He's picked up 61 yards. You see the point at which the clock is stopped. 2.5 minutes left to play.
You're going strong.
His team was down 20-0 at the half. 49ers have the football. The 7-yard line. The give is to Ricky Patton. No place to go. He's chased, and Patton is down back at the 13. They'll probably mark it about the 12. Razzano. Now they want another timeout.
He's trying to use his timeouts. He knows that at the 2 minutes, he'll get a free timeout there. So he's trying to use his timeouts before the 2-minute warning.
And Forrest Gregg deep in thought. 23-14 the score.
The forecast is for more snow and hazardous driving conditions. Watch out for slippery going.
We'll make it, Sarge.
When people are counting on you to come through, it's nice to have a Toyota Corolla Tercel pulling for you. The 1982 front-wheel drive Toyota Tercel, Toyota's lowest priced car. The Toyota Tercel, a car that pulls its own weight and a little bit more. Tercel!
Racing to the bottom.
Not all the way.
For Michelob Light.
You're on.
Would good friends really go at it this hard just for a beer? Well, consider it's Michelob Light, and that means a rich, smooth taste you can compare to any beer you like.
Where'd you ever learn to ski like that anyway?
Houston.
Michelob Light. Compare the taste.
Championship events, scores and highlights, news and features. You get it all on CBS Sports Saturday. Next week, the WBA Lightweight Championship. Art Frias takes on challenger Ernesto España next weekend on CBS Sports Saturday.
Super Bowl XVI is on the field. His field goal this time will come from about 22 yards out. Make it 23 as he pats Montana on the back and puts him down there. Chandler's kick 4, Jim Turner kick 4. Wershing with this one successful is in that category. He has 4. Jim Turner kicked 4 in his career. So did Chandler. Chandler did it in 1 game. Green Bay and Oakland. And Wershing has now done it in 1 game. 26-14, San Francisco. I guess, John, you think about it, as we wait for this kickoff to take place, clock is stopped with 1:57 left to play. There really is no way to coach. They've had an awful lot of trouble handling the kickoffs from Wershing. It's put them in some disastrous holes and cost them some points, really. There's no way to coach that, is there?
No, there isn't. You can work against those types of kicks all the time. But I think one advantage that the 49ers and the Bengals had is they were able to practice here all week. And we were able to watch the 49ers and Bengals practice. But I noticed that Ray Wershing worked on those things just about all day, every day.
He says he just tries to concentrate when he knows his time is coming. He's kicked off a lot, and he's kicked 4 field goals. Again, he does the same thing. This one takes a good bounce. This is David Berser. Nothing doing there to the 25, where the Bengals will have 1:51 in which to go to work. Amos Lawrence was the man who came down and made the tackle. Joe Montana has been voted by the writers and broadcasters that are covering Super Bowl XVI as this game's most valuable player. That's what he's done today. More importantly, he got him here.
That's a deserving award for a man that's not only had a great Super Bowl, but he's had a great season.
25-year-old Joe Montana. Anderson will go right to work. Anderson swings around to the other side, gets it loose. Isaac Curtis has it at about the 48, hit down by Carlton Williamson. The Bengals out of timeouts, hustle up after that 22-yard pickup. Clock still goes, a minute 30. Now a minute 30, less than that. Anderson out quickly and up quickly. Good protection, he fires complete. Ross. He stays in bounds, and again the Bengals hurry up as Dan Buns knocked Ross down. Clock will continue to move.
The Bengals are thinking this is their last chance. The 49ers are thinking, let's get this thing over with.
Ross again, but not out of bounds. Willie Harper makes sure that he stays in bounds. And again they hustle up. Less than a minute to play. 49ers have to get back. They can't just stroll. And Anderson is ready and there quickly. He might have thrown away right here. Collinsworth makes the catch, but still in bounds. Eddie DeBartolo, who owns the San Francisco 49ers, and the surrounding group.
I'll tell you, Eddie's there. He's starting to celebrate, but he knows that there's 40 seconds left to go.
Defense.
And they got the clock stopped because of encroachment against San Francisco. Anderson looks over to the sidelines quickly. Cincinnati turnovers. Boy, they hurt him.
Well, of course, the 49ers did something about it. One, they made him happen. And then two, after they got him, they went in and scored.
Anderson ready to go. He throws. Pass is caught by Kreider inside the 5 at the 3. And again, the Bengals hurry up, but the clock, they just haven't got enough time.
I'm surprised that they haven't thrown out to the sidelines or into the end zone. They need 2 scores.
They do it right now. He's going after it right now. He looks for Ross. He got him. Touchdown. That'll stop it. 16 seconds left to play. Carlton Williamson again, the defender, but Anderson popped it right to Ross. Same play they scored the last touchdown against.
16 seconds. Now, of course, they'll kick the extra point. Then we know one thing. We're going to see an exciting onside kick after this point.
Boy, did he go to work in a hurry.
I'll tell you, he did, and he went all to the inside, didn't save any time other than the penalty. The penalty hurt because that stopped the clock. The Bengals had no timeout. Watch him find Ross in the end zone and drill it right in there, a step behind Carlton Williamson.
Breach with Kreider holding. And quickly. It's 26-21. Six plays, 74 yards. We told you that Joe Montana, the 49ers' fine young quarterback who had such a great year, has been named by the writers and broadcasters the most valuable player. Here's what he told us would happen to him, at least, if the 49ers won the Super Bowl.
Backflip, I probably would. I'd be, you know, one of the 45, 50 happiest guys in the country at the time. It's just something that as growing up, I'm sure a lot of our team members and their team members have the same feeling. This is what you play for every year in the NFL. And this is the ultimate in the game of football. And to be able to win it, especially at a young age as our whole club is, would just be outstanding for us.
That's putting it mildly.
And he's only 16 seconds away from it.
Their most valuable player. You're going to see the hands team on for San Francisco. The onside kick from Jim Breach. He's even got the laces lined up in that direction. Not trying to fool anybody.
There'll be a lot of scrambling when this football's kicked.
Clark and Lott, two of the fine athletes, are on the side. Clark won't stop until Breach hits it. Won't start, I should say. Clark sees it, gets it. And he tried to stay in bounds, and that ought to do it. It is San Francisco's ball, and Eddie DeBartolo. John McVay alongside him, who is his director of pro personnel, and Bill Walsh on the shoulders. All right.
for this team, for this coach, for this owner, for this town. They'll never forget this day.
San Francisco 26, Cincinnati 21. And Cincinnati and Forrest Gregg out of timeouts.
Look at those people. They know that, you know, it's money. Of course, it's money. It's a victory. It's a Super Bowl. It's a ring. But it's being the world champions, and they know they have it.
Joe Montana, teammates at Notre Dame, just had a little friendship, embrace, hug, whatever you want to call it.
Now Joe Montana is saying he took the football. He doesn't have to control his excitement anymore.
Forrest Gregg, and what a gallant second half, and first half for that matter, the Bengals played. What a comeback.
And what a gallant year for him. You know, the Super Bowl loser always takes a lot of abuse, but the job that that team did. Look at Kenny Anderson here carrying his son off the field, but they should hold their heads high. They have a lot to be proud of.
They accomplished a lot. San Francisco, what a remarkable story. 26-21, they are the world champion San Francisco 49ers. Not too many folks who get able to say, or able to say, I should say, that goes in front of my name. I'm a world champion.
And they have that the rest of their lives. No matter what happens, this can never be taken away.
Look at the previous years. 1978, they were 2-14. Then Mr. DeBartolo hired a guy named Bill Walsh. Once again, they were 2-14, but at least they could move the football. And then he turned the whole thing around. 6-10,
and then he picked up that guy, number 64, Jack Reynolds. He knows how to win and how to play.
Lawrence Tillers was number 65, who just walked. I wonder if he's going to leave the tape on during the offseason.
Oh, he can smile. I was just going to say, Jack, it's okay. You're world champion now. You can smile. And he did.
There'll be some change of scenery in there in just a minute when they arrive through the tunnel and off the field as the 49ers, representing the National Football Conference, capture this Super Bowl.
There's
Clark
the
and Stuckey. Excuse me, John, go ahead.
The Clemson teammates there.
There's O.J. Simpson, who, of course, played with the 49ers when he was half lame, but is a 49er at heart.
And there's Randy Cross, number 51. You know, those offensive linemen, they don't get a lot of credit, but they sure get happy when they win a game.
Eddie DeBartolo, who owns the 49ers, we thought we had a look at him coming into the locker room. Yes, we do.
Now, that's what you call a smile, isn't it? He's waiting. What a day.
Some of the 49er people who perhaps don't get nearly as much credit as they should. Those who clean the shoes and clean the cleats and put out the uniforms and the T-shirts and make sure you got in your locker what you want. Just terrific. Senior producer, Charles Hamilton Milton III, and thank you, Red Eye. Gentleman who perhaps has worked harder than anybody to get this game on, Terry O'Neill. Our director. Excellent is about all you can say, but that's not good enough for Sandy Grossman. Thank you, Joan Vitrano. She's taken a lot of heat from us over the year. Michael Burks and Bob Dunphy, the associate director. The assistants to the producer, speaking of doing a good job, Mike Arnold, Bill Brown, and Bob Mattina. Marty Solomon, director of technical operations, and you should see our complex outside the Silverdome. Manager of that complex was Artie Tin. And all the rest of the people, my gosh, no matter how many you say, you'd leave out somebody. It's been a great, great week. As we continue to roll the credits and say thank you to all of you, we'll go into the locker room for the presentation of the Vince Lombardi Trophy. The winner's locker room will also be in the losing locker room as we continue with our coverage of Super Bowl 16. While we have a moment, I'd like to give a special thanks to my spotter, who's been with me all year, and for the past several years, Lance Barrow, and to our booth statistician, Mike Swanson. Great job, you two. The cameramen. My gosh, they know more about football than we do, John.
Well, and they got some great shots. They didn't miss a thing. What a crew.
Maintenance. None of it works without those guys. 49ers
Look at 23.
continuing to file in and celebrating. Commissioner Pete Rozelle will be down in the 49er locker room, along with Eddie DiBartolo and Bill Walsh, I'm sure, for the presentation of the trophy as the 49ers continue to file in. Once again, the final score was San Francisco 26, Cincinnati 21. CBS Sports coverage of Super Bowl 16 will continue with locker room reports after this word from your local station.
In today's complex world, there are many serious questions at CBS.